Hi Capricorns, welcome to your, I was going to say November, but, and then I was just about to say August. Welcome to your December 2018 monthly readings. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to give a heads up. I don't know if I'm going to get them all done, all the videos. So if your sign doesn't come up, like if you're watching your sun sign or your moon sign, and I put those out, but you don't see your other placements out, just bear with me. It's Christmas time. My birthday's December the 11th. I'm going away, so I'm trying to get these done beforehand. I'm getting organized here to move in February. It's been pure chaos, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie, so much has been happening. Just when I think like I got everything under control, it's like life is just throwing things at me. Like, you gotta make this decision, you gotta deal with that. So, man, all for the greater good though. So I'm gonna be doing, I don't know if you remember, I was doing like no show and grow. I like this reading. So you got I am root. So what you need to know is I am root. So you're rooted, you're grounded. I do feel like what you guys need to know is that your passions and desires can get out of hand at times, and you need to ground yourself and root yourself down, okay? What you need to show is I am here, so you are present, okay? So you need to stop worrying about the past and the future. You need to be completely present and focused on the here and the now, because any problems that are occurring is because you're too focused on either the past or the future, okay? And that's going to get you off balance. So just focus on the here and now. That's how you're going to be grounded, dealing with what's coming at you in the moment, and going and dealing with the situation as it's happening. Don't try to take on too much, okay? Because you're like, oh, I got to do this now because in the future I can't do this, or you know, I want this in the future, so I got to do this and that to make that happen. Okay, just one thing at a time. Focus on the things that you got to deal with in the here and the now as they come, you know? Like, make a list, do it one at a time. Because, like, I feel like if it's there's nothing wrong. It's actually encouraged to have goals, ambitions, and things like that, the things that you want, okay? That's all great and fantastic, but I feel like your passions and desires, those things are gonna like get you off-rooted, okay? So just deal with the here and now. Okay, and that card flip. And it says, I am progress. And that's what you need to grow. And that's kind of like a weird card for that place. So you need to work on changing things. Like, I am getting like you need to deal with today. Okay, like what can you do today? All right, don't be worrying about what you didn't do yesterday or what you need to do the next day or in the future. Just deal with taking one step at a time, okay? All right, those two cards kind of flipped up. You have the Queen of Pentacles, what you need to know. So you're in your energy, all right? I love that card too. It's so colorful. You're very nurturing. Like, even you men, you're going to be very nurturing. Like, your feminine side. I don't mean like, you know, you're going to be all like crying and weeping. It just means like as a man, you know, like you might participate in cooking dinner for the holidays, or you're going to be saying good for you or congratulations or encouraging. That's nurturing aspects towards your friends, families, or children even. And that's going to benefit you. Okay, that's going to help them get rooted. All right? Words of encouragement go a long way. right? And it means a lot when it comes from Capricorn. It doesn't happen often, people, but when you get that from a Capricorn, oh my goodness, it's a fantastic feeling. Where they're hard people to impress. Unless your dad is a Capricorn and you're a daughter, you know, like my dad's a Capricorn, so I'm pretty lucky. He gets me into trouble quite a bit with my mom, but I get him into trouble too with my mom, so, you know, because he can't say no to me. Or, uh, I know I amuse him with the stuff that comes out of my mouth sometimes, because I'm a Sag, I don't think before he speaks, so, you know, there's these moments in the house, like when the family's together and I say something, and my dad's been wanting to say it for like years, you can tell. He'll do this like little smirk, side smirk, it's like, yes, somebody said it. Wasn't me. I don't have to be the bad guy, you know. Or you have the Strength card. So what you need to show is like having courage, uh, taking action, being prideful in what you do. You also need to show that you can surpass your ego and your pride, right? You can put that aside at times. There's nothing wrong with having ego and pride. It's necessary, but everything has a positive and a negative to it, okay? So you want to ensure that you're not letting that get ahead of you, because that's what's going to prevent you from being rooted, all right? That's like, because it's the Leo energy. When Leos are too prideful, it's like they can't take constructive criticism. They can't be told they're wrong. They can't be told, you know, that their opinion was not valid, or it doesn't mean that it's not valid, but they just can't take constructive criticism. What they end up doing is they're like, "Rah, you know, I'm gonna rip you apart. How dare you?" You know, like it's an insult. Where that is just gonna be that's coming from your passion and desires, and like with the I am root, you're not rooted in the self, or present to you like that. No idea what it is, but you're not present, and it'll get you emotionally off balance. Okay, with the Queen of Pentacles here, this is somebody, she can't be pushed over, he or she can't be deterred off her path or persuade. Another person's opinion is not really going to offend her when she's firm and rooted and grounded in herself. She knows who she is, so she's not going to overreact or anything, because some people just want to get an emotional reaction out of you, okay? If somebody around you is constantly like rah at you at any time you say something, or like give an opinion or a thought, it's just another person's opinion or thought, okay? If they're doing that, well, that's, you know, that's a big sign that that person's a narcissist, like, because they can't handle constructive criticism at all, you know? It's an insult to their persona that they're trying to put out there in the world. And I mean, come on now, people, we're all freaking humans. We all make mistakes. We're all allowed to have a different perception. We are allowed to see things differently. That's what makes us beautiful, unique. All right, the uniqueness is a beautiful thing. Where, but I am here, and the Strength card is like, you see a job in the paper, apply for it and have the courage, even if it's out of, you think it's out of your league, or a person's out of your league, asking them out. You know, like um, going on that date. You know, like saying yes when you want to say no. This is saying no when you know something's bad for you, because you're present, right? It's like with your passions getting out of desire. If something's harming you, you want to say no to it. Okay, yes, you could go out and drink with your buddies, but did you do that yesterday? So today's probably a good day to say no. Everything is good for you in moderation, you know? Having pride behind your work, what you do for a living, nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, I'm seeing claws. I don't know, claws coming out. Like, don't hold on to things too tightly, okay? And then you have Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups talks about projections. So it's like people projecting their inner crap onto you, you know? So what you have to work on is I am progress, and then it says projections. So it could be like, well, here's the thing. If you've had, Capricorns go through a lot of lessons, okay, especially with Saturn in your sign. I know a lot of astrologers were all like, Saturn's coming back to Capricorn, so I don't know why they were saying that it's going to be all great and fantastic. Okay? It's Saturn, man, you got lessons to learn just like everybody else does, like when Saturn goes into any sign, they go through hardship. There's things that they have to learn. Changes need to be made. Progress has to happen. In order for that to happen, well, you gotta realize some ugly things about the people around you, the places around you, things in yourself. There's a reflection period you have to go through. There's a good solid year of you fighting it. I didn't say this because I'm a Sag, where you like refuse to accept what the universe is trying to tell you and you continuously try to make it work. It was like I was in a job where it's like I'm not leaving this job. I make good money. I can deal with the crap that they're throwing at me. You know what I mean? A good solid year of that, and then you gotta like give in to Saturn and like listen to what Saturn is saying because Saturn is knowledgeable and teaching you something. It's not worth the money. The sleepless nights, the worries, the concerns, the stress, the childish behavior is not worth the money. I had to leave. You know what I mean? Start over again. I fought it for a year, people. All right? You can't fight Saturn. Saturn will win. All right? Even if you're a Capricorn, it's your natural placement, like it's your natural planet, but you're still learning things like everybody else is. It's going to teach you things like everybody else. All right? You got to realize some projections that you might have, like people projecting crap onto you, first of all. So that's like if they're negative, they're not happy, they've been cheated on, that's all stuff that they're going to project out onto you. All right? They got ego issues, they're going to project that out onto you. You know what I mean? It's like a person who's really self-centered and they're all like, my shit don't stink. And then they're, the second like they get criticism or something like that, they freak out. They're like saying everything against what they're doing or standing for. Personality and character are two separate things. People can fake personality. You can tell people whatever you want when you got personality. You could tell them you're a millionaire and this and that. People don't know, right? Like they're liars. Where character is what shows I can't even say the word. An authentic person has good character, which means they got morals and values and standards, and they stand to that. They don't let people sway them. Like they don't give in to people, right? They're wise enough to know when they have value. They got respect, morals, values. Okay, they don't stoop to people's levels. All right, like first of all, you're giving the person exactly what they want. Like, but projections is like you want to be aware. You got to grow. You need to make progress. This is the area you need to grow. Is your projections. So it's like you could be pointing your finger at somebody saying that they're doing this, but you're projecting it onto them. Like how can I explain that? You got the death card. You got a lot of red here, you guys. So projections is like, one time I had a family member, this is the best way I can explain it. They stole from me and they stole from some other family members. Okay? I didn't hold a grudge against them. Like I got an Aquarius, Mars, and Venus, so I'm pretty understanding. I understood they were going through hard times. Their pride and their ego got the best of them, and they couldn't ask for help because they were too prideful, right? They couldn't let their ego go, so they took from other people. Okay, but then the projection part kicks in. Years later, even to this day, this person accuses people of taking things from them. They're projecting what they've done onto other people, accusing them of what they were guilty of because they have guilt for it, right? So they're humans, okay? Like if a person, like I can understand where they're coming from, like why they do that, right? Nobody's taking anything from them, but the guilt of what they've done is being projected outwards because they need to validate what they did, right? They need to validate it, okay? And they can't validate it, right? If the other people aren't giving them what they want, that's an issue that they have to learn, something they have to accept within themselves. So that's an example. And so projection is like, for you guys, it's all going to be different, right? Uh, you need to work on it though, right? Like if you say a person's angry all the time, but you're the one who's angry, well, work on that. It's a projection. Why are you angry? There's some sort of emotion that you're not able to express because somewhere along the line of childhood, you had a parent, perhaps, you've seen some sort of behavior and developed it. So, being loving and saying I love you might be really hard for you. So you build it up. You get frustrated. Okay? You have the Six of Swords. So you've got people watching you. You do have people watching you that value you and appreciate you. Okay? And then you have the Nine of Pentacles. You need to grow. You need to grow. The feeling I'm getting is being opened to other people's perspectives and understanding that you don't always have to agree with them, but they can give you a third perception. The perception that you walk in with and the perception that they have, you both might not be able to agree upon. But however, when you're listening to it and being constructive, like constructively listening to the other person's perception, you both may walk away with a completely different perception of what you came in with, or a completely different idea. You know what I mean? Being respectful and listening to other people's perspectives or how they handle problems, or solution to problems, or how they deal with things or handle things or become successful, or this or that, okay, whatever it is. Listening to that may not work for you. However, it may give you an idea of how to, like, because you're going to have to change your perception a little bit. Okay, like walking in with the Leo energy, like, ooh, this is the way it's got to be done, and this is the only way it works. Okay, or this is fact. All right, like it may not be. You may come out with a different perception when you allow others to come in and give theirs. Okay, I don't know if that made sense. Probably not, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, okay. It's kind of like there was this research paper done by Stanford University, okay? And this research paper was based on, I think it was three different scientists, three different areas. Was it scientists? Nicholas Tesla was in it, okay? And I found this paper fascinating. I read this years ago, you guys. I don't even remember how I came across it. But this student, okay, this fascinated me, did this research paper on how an idea was given to multiple people at the same time. So like there was like, and they did this on different topics too, all right, about ideas, about people like inventors and things like that. Okay, Nicholas Tesla being one of them. Okay, he wasn't the only guy that had his way of thinking or thoughts, okay, or ideas, okay, and he swore by the universe giving him those answers. All right, there was also multiple people in the same month, the same week and time period that were given the same aha moments and inspirational moments, okay, at the exact same time. So it's kind of like the paper was basically saying that, there was a synchronicity between the universe and people, right? Like, not like, and it's almost like the information was given to specific people that could understand it and comprehend it and interpret it and be giving the idea to push it forward and plant the seed. Like they were given the seed, but they had to actually dig a hole and plant it. Now, the reason, like, I believe that it was given to multiple people is because not all of them were going to complete the task that the universe had upon them, but they were each given the task, and it was like, one of them's got to do it, so let's give it to multiple people to see who can do it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? This paper was fascinating, though, talking about, like, it was multiple scientists and things like that. Like, even Albert Einstein was included in it, and different people. These guys, I didn't even know the other people's names. It was just the names I knew were the ones that were proclaim to have the idea when, if you do your research and collect the data and analyze things, you realize that other people actually had the information before these people did. All right. But these people just got it out before the other ones did. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, if you think you're the only one with an idea, other people can have ideas too that are very similar to yours. Like you can't just, it's like, if, I don't know why, like I'm saying this is because it's almost like if somebody's like accusing, it's back to the stealing thing. Like I had that family member, right, that stole things. Okay, so it's like if a person, a person, and they're like, oh, you're stealing this from me, you're stealing that from me. Well, that person probably guilty of stealing. Let's be straight here, people. Okay, that's what I'm getting. This person's projecting or they're stealing. All right. So you also want to evaluate what are you projecting, right? We all do it. Like everybody does it. Or I think I projected a little bit in Aries reading. Because my mom's an Aries. Oh man, I had to use examples that I know. Or everybody's guilty of it. All right. I'm not too concerned about you guys because you have the Queen of Pentacles, which means you're very grounded and rooted. That's what you need to know, centered in yourself. You have a Death card here though, which means you need to know that there's going to be some sort of ending to something. Okay. It would be, well, I don't want to say that. It could be to like understanding something. All right. Do your research and data. Don't trust what people are telling you. You got to research things. All right. Like the Six of Swords, that's like multiple like swords. So that's multiple ways of doing things, multiple ideas, multiple thought process, that type of feeling. All right. That's what I get from it. The Six of Swords and this one, you're on a journey. All right. And you're going to fail sometimes in a journey and you're going to succeed sometimes in a journey. You're going to make right turns and you're going to make wrong turns. Like, you need to focus. I am progress, projections, and the Nine of Pentacles. That's what you need to grow. Not allowing other people's projections to hold you back from moving forward and gaining growth. So that, again, it's like, if you watch a lot of tarot readings, you guys, and somebody's saying that your spouse cheated, they didn't freaking cheat on you. That person has, one, they're opportunist. They're trying to get money off of you. Okay, they want to use fear to do that. All right, because God forbid that you give a person hope. Right, because hope heals people. Right, it causes revolutions. Fear, it constricts them. Okay, it puts them in a need. You need another person. All right, you can't do things on your own, right? Because somebody's putting the fear on you. So you have to ensure that you're not listening to information that's holding you back because people are projecting on you from your Nine of Pentacles. Okay, because you're more knowledgeable than you actually know. Okay, or if a person has said somebody's cheating on you and they've done a reading, well, they've probably been cheated on themselves. They haven't gotten over it, dealt with things. They're projecting their own inner ish. You know what I mean? Like, tarot is not about causing harm. It's about creativity. It's about creating love. It's, like, and love's the most precious gift in the world. So when I see people messing with love, I'm like, how dare you? It's not your place. All right. Like free will comes into contact. You can't mess with free will. You can't tap into another person. That's if you're looking for the information for yourself, that could be tapped into. But if you're looking for the information on another person, how they feel, you want to know how they feel, you have to have that uncomfortable conversation of going and talking to them. All right. Otherwise, if you're listening to like somebody else's opinion about how they feel about you and you haven't spoken to the actual person that you want to know about, then you're going to create the very situation you were trying to avoid. All right. So like, put your pride and ego aside and have that uncomfortable conversation with them. Okay. Realize that there's some projection that you may be putting on them, but they also may be doing it to you too. So you got to be forgiving. All right. Don't allow people to hold you back, though. Definitely don't allow people to hold you back. All right. Try to align what you see and what you hear. Okay. I just worry that somebody's trying to start something when there's no need to because they got their own personal issues that they haven't dealt with yet. Right? And part of healing is being aware. You got a good reading here. I do feel like your family's going to come together. This could be somebody in your family. You do have the Seven of Pentacles here, and the Ten of Pentacles, and the Knight of Chalices. The Knight of Chalices to me is a really good friend. Okay, this is a person, they're highly intuitive, water characters, highly intuitive. Okay, it's a person who feels your feels. You don't have to say things with them. They pick up on senses with your feelings. So these are the people that put themselves in your shoes. They're great listeners. They're very understanding. They're non-judgmental. They understand things happen in life. And when they give you advice, they're going to give it to you because they're placing themselves in your shoes. So they're not just going to be, they're not going to be judgmental about it. They're very understanding. Okay, and then you have the Seven of Pentacles. See this? You got these coins in the background and this guy like whipping his back almost. Like using fear. But it's almost like he's gaining off of the other guy. He's like taking from him by using the fear state. That must be why I got it. Like using a fear state of mind to control the person. And fear should never be used for control, okay? You have free will. Don't allow people to blind you with fear, okay? You have optimism here. The Ten of Pentacles, you know, with the, as long as you're sure within yourself and you're grounded and rooted and you understand how you really feel, don't, you know, like, don't let people tell you how you feel. If you're rooted in yourself, you know who you are, then you don't have to worry about this taking place. And if you see this, this is talking about standing up and saying no. Like, so if somebody's trying to like hold something over your head, it's like saying no, okay? And saying no to money, okay? Because like I said earlier about that job that I had, where I was refusing to, when Saturn came into Sag, I was refusing to like accept what Saturn was trying to teach me because of the finances. I'm not going to lie. I made really good finances at that job. You know, I was making over $30 an hour, where I was like, I'm not giving this up, you know, like I'm not doing it. Had come hell or high water, I'm not doing it. I have a lot of fixed signs in me, you guys. I can be super stubborn. It took me a year, and it was like I was doing it whether I wanted to or not. Saturn was not going to let that. Saturn was like, ha 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 ha. You stand there, little girl, and you try to not do what I'm telling you to do. We'll see how long that lasts, you know, or it lasted a year. I had to accept it, you know. Afterwards, Saturn was like, excellent, you know, like she's finally learning. Where I had to take a lower paid job afterwards, you know, but I worked myself back up to making, you know, like I make decent money, you know. It's definitely the job that I had when I was refusing to do what Saturn told me to do. It was not worth the money. Now that I look back at it, it was not worth the money. Okay? Like, don't sell your soul to the devil here, people. Sometimes the things that have more value are the things that money can't buy. They can't buy certain things. Okay? They can't buy love. They can't replace people. You know, like jobs are replaceable. People aren't. All right? My family was being sacrificed when I worked at that job. Okay? My family's not replaceable. You know, like that job was. You know, I've had a few different jobs since then, you know, like, but now I'm not so set on staying at a company. Like I think I had that job for 10 years, right? And now I'm very open to like whatever happens, happens. After you make it through Saturn, man, you're just like, you're like, nothing can get as bad as when Saturn was here, you know? Like, let's just go with the flow. Let's let things happen, you know? Like, it's not that big of a deal when things don't go right, because Saturn teaches you, you see, it's not that bad. You know, sometimes you need that little nudge out the door, you know? Like, it's like when you're learning to ride a bike, you know? Saturn's going to come in and take your little tricycles off. It's not that bad. You got to go. You're getting that little nudge here, you guys. I feel like you're going to have good family time. A lot of people coming together, all right? Don't use fear or hate or anything like that to try to teach anything or get things accomplished or done that's not going to accomplish anything. What's gonna is positive reinforcement. That's going to work. Positive reinforcement will work. Okay, negative reinforcement is not going to work. All right, that's just going to cause more problems. So when you have children or your spouse or somebody does something good and nice, appreciate that, pat them on the back for that, tell them why, and that's going to go a long way. You're going to see changes happening. Right? You do have family coming together here in celebration of some sort, a gathering of some sort. Like this is like, if you're curious about something, go out and watch that documentary about it. Go to, what do you call those things? Conventions about things you're interested in. You got people watching you though. Actions speak louder than words. So your actions are going to be very impressive. Your words, not so much, but your actions, that's going to be noticed and people are going to be impressed by it. So if you have people around you that are good talkers, all personality, don't worry about it. Your actions are going to be what make you stand out from everybody else. All right? All right, you guys. Hopefully this helped you out. Namaste. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And have a fabulous month, you guys. Ciao for now.